We're into the final days at the UN climate talks here in Durban, South Africa. While environment ministers and heads of state have now taken the lead on negotiations inside these halls, local youth took to the beach this morning to deliver a strong symbolic message.
And we go to the beach to make a lion, and we're going to roll like...
It is their future that the current leaders are talking about, and actually the current leaders are failing in delivering a safe future for these kids. So it's important that they send a message.
The idea for the lion and to send this roar, to roar for climate action from the kids, it was an artistic idea. And so these leaders have been meeting 17 times and they still haven't got a deal. So I thought maybe they got to hear from the kids, to be reminded about their responsibilities.
2, 3, roar! Roar! Roar!
Scientists are telling us we need an ambitious agreement soon to avert catastrophic climate change.
Well, for scientists, and I think I can speak for many of my colleagues, if not most of my colleagues, the speed at which the negotiations to protect climate are happening and the level of ambition is indeed very frustrating, because compared to what would be needed to stay below that increase in temperature of 2 degrees and what is presently on the table in terms of commitments or pledges to reduce or limit emissions, there's a big gap.
At this point, many countries are still holding their cards close to their vest, but a few are starting to be played. China made an opening gambit over the weekend, suggesting that, under the right conditions, it would be willing to negotiate a new, legally binding climate treaty that would impose commitments on all the world's major emitters, themselves included. Climate activists are particularly worried about the lack of urgency and ambition on display from rich countries.
The International Energy Agency, so an agency that takes quite a conservative estimate, recently came out saying we have 5 years to take serious action on climate change and peak global emissions. Otherwise, the window has closed, and we cannot keep warming to 2 degrees, which is the vital limit. And really, without a second commitment to the Kyoto Protocol, we're looking for a new treaty in 2020, perhaps, which is far beyond that window.
The United States wants a treaty that would come into effect after 2020, but the science on that is clear. It would leave us with virtually no hope of keeping global temperature rise below 2 degrees Celsius. That's the agreed-upon global threshold we need to stay below in order to avoid catastrophic and irreversible impacts of climate change. The EU is proposing to negotiate a treaty that would come into effect by 2015. The small island states are calling for something even sooner. It appears we're looking for someone to broker a compromise.